Praise be to God. Today the splendor of the Word of God hath illumined every horizon, and from all sects, races, tribes, nations, and communities, souls have come together in the light of the Word, assembled, united, and agreed in perfect harmony. Oh, what a great number of meetings are held, adorned with souls from various races and diverse sects. Anyone attending these will be struck with amazement and might suppose that these souls are all of one land, one nationality, one community, one thought, one belief, and one opinion. Whereas in fact, one is an American, the other an African, one cometh from Asia and another from Europe, one is a native of India, another is from Turkestan, one is an Arab, another a Tajik, another a Persian, and yet another a Greek. Notwithstanding such diversity, they associate in perfect harmony and unity, love and freedom. They have one voice, one thought, and one purpose. Verily, this is from the penetrative power of the Word of God. If all the forces of the universe were to combine, they would not be able thus to gather a single assemblage so imbued with the sentiments of love, affection, attraction, and enkindlement as to unite the members of different races and to raise up from the heart of the world a voice that shall dispel war and strife, uproot dissension and disputation, usher in the era of universal peace, and establish unity and concord amongst men. Can any power withstand the penetrative influence of the Word of God? Nay, by God. The proof is clear, and the evidence is complete. If anyone looketh with the eyes of justice, he shall be struck with wonder and amazement, and will testify that all the peoples, sects, and races of the world should be glad, content, and grateful for the teachings and admonitions of Baha'u'llah. For these divine injunctions tame every ferocious beast, transform the creeping insect into a soaring bird, cause human souls to become angels of the kingdom, and make the human world a focus for the qualities of mercy. Furthermore, each and every one is required to show obedience, submission, and loyalty towards his own government. Today, no state in the world is in a condition of peace or tranquility, for security and trust have vanished from among the people. Both the governed and the governors are alike in danger. The only group of people which today submitteth peacefully and loyally to the laws and ordinances of government, and dealeth honestly and frankly with the people, is none other than this wronged community. For while all sects and races in Persia and Turkestan are absorbed in promoting their own interests and only obey their governments either with the hope of reward or from fear of punishment, the Baha'is are the well-wishers of the government, obedient to its laws and bearing love towards all peoples. Such obedience and submission is made incumbent and obligatory upon all by the clear text of the Abha beauty. Therefore, the believers, in obedience to the command of the True One, show the utmost sincerity and goodwill towards all nations, and should any soul act contrary to the laws of the government, he would consider himself responsible before God, deserving divine wrath and chastisement for his sin and wrongdoing. It is astonishing that, in spite of this, some of the officials of the government consider the Baha'is to be ill-wishers, while they regard the members of other communities as their well-wishers. Gracious God, recently, when there was general revolution and agitation in Tehran and in other provinces of Persia, it was proven that not a single Baha'i had taken part nor intervened in these affairs. For this reason, they were reproached by the ignorant because they had obeyed the command of the Blessed Perfection and refrained absolutely from interference in political matters. They were not associated with any party, but busied themselves with their own affairs and professions and discharged their own duties. All the friends of God bear witness to the fact that Abdu'l-Baha is, from every standpoint, the well-wisher of all governments and nations, and prayeth sincerely for their progress and advancement, especially for the two great states of the East, for these two countries are the native land and the place of exile of Baha'u'llah. In all epistles and writings he hath commended and praised these two governments, and hath supplicated divine confirmations for them from the threshold of the one true God. The Abha beauty, may my life be a sacrifice for his loved ones, hath offered prayers on behalf of their imperial majesties. Gracious God, how strange that notwithstanding these conclusive proofs, every day some event transpireth and difficulties arise. But we and the friends of God should on no account slacken our efforts to be loyal, sincere, and men of good will. We should at all times manifest our truthfulness and sincerity, nay rather, we must be constant in our faithfulness and trustworthiness, and occupy ourselves in offering prayers for the good of all. O ye beloved of God, these are days for steadfastness, for firmness and perseverance in the cause of God. Ye must not focus your attention upon the person of Abdu'l-Baha, for ere long he will bid you farewell. Rather must ye fix your gaze upon the Word of God. If the Word of God is being promoted, rejoice and be happy and thankful, though Abdu'l-Baha himself be threatened by the sword or burdened by the weight of chains and fetters. For the holy temple of the cause of God is important, not the physical body of Abdu'l-Baha. The friends of God must arise with such steadfastness that if at any moment 100 souls like Abdu'l-Baha become the target for the arrows of affliction, they will not shift or waver in their resolve, their determination, their enkindlement, their devotion, and service in the cause of God. Abdu'l-Baha is himself a servant at the threshold of the Blessed Beauty, and a manifestation of pure and utter servitude at the threshold of the Almighty. He hath no other station or title, no other rank or power. This is my ultimate purpose, my eternal paradise, my holiest temple, and my Sadratul Muntaha. With the Abha, Blessed Beauty, and the Exalted One, his herald, may my life be a sacrifice for them both, hath ended the appearance of God's independent and universal manifestation. And for 1,000 years all shall be illumined by his lights and be sustained by the ocean of his favors. O ye lovers of God, this verily is my last wish and my admonition unto you. Blessed therefore is he who is aided by God to follow that which is inscribed upon this scroll, whose words are sanctified from the symbols current amongst men.